Because that person does not understand that he's wretched. You do, and you try to be real nice about it. You're like, I'm going. That's what the Lord's doing to the Laodicean church. He said, listen, you're wretched. You think you're all rich and everything you got going on. But listen, your stuff be speaking. Your sin is speaking. Your attitude is funky. The Laodicean church did not understand that they were wretched and miserable. That God was really pitying them. He wasn't blessing them. He was looking at them and saying, my God, when are you going to get it together? Stop worrying about stuff and things. And worry about me. I'm your God. Yes. They were poor. They were helpless. They were powerless. They had no strength to accomplish the task that God had set them out to do. I don't want to be that church. God said, I called you and chose you. That you would go forth and bear some fruit. But the Laodicean church is so weak and defeated, couldn't even cast out a devil. Yes. Couldn't help nobody get off drugs if they wanted to. Give them one of them pills, but the elephant just follows you around. You just got to maintain your depression. I'm depressed, but I'm doing better right now. Amen. Forget that stuff. If you come to the church and you're depressed, God's going to deliver you and cast that thing out. You won't walk around. You won't have no elephant follow you. You won't be depressed. You won't be bound. You won't be down. The Laodicean church was poor. Had no influence. Now look at how in the world can we have one 30,000 member church, another 50,000 member church in the same city and have the highest crime rate in the whole nation? Where's the influence of God? Because it's miserable, it's poor, it's weak, it doesn't have influence. Doesn't have the influence to go into the king, to go into the president and say, President, that's the wrong decision. I meet with you every week. I talk to you all the time, but I don't have the influence of God to give you persuasion. Don't make that decision. You'll hurt the nation.
Yes, yes. Right, yes. Say that.
Hello. The Laodicean church in verse 17, God says it doesn't know it's wretched and miserable and poor and blind, can't see what the devil is doing to the nation and doing to the children and doing to the family structure. You have laws they're trying to pass in California right now. They want to say that a family, a child can have more than 2 parents. You know, maybe you should have 4 parents. Maybe 3 parents is good. They're getting so confused and blinded that they don't understand truth. It's already passed through the legislature, just so you know. Church is silent. This is my dad, this is my dad, this is my mom. This is my mom, this is my mom, this is my dad, this is my dad. We got like 4 parents. And you already know what it is about. That's the gay marriage, and the gay marriage is the one son who's confused and don't have a clue who's who. Yes. And then we expect him to come up right. And when he gets in trouble with the law, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? Please. What's wrong with who God is missing? The Laodicean church, miserable and blind and can't see what God is doing and naked. The garment is missing. The righteousness of God is missing. And most important, the armor of God is missing. The one thing that people need from you is for you to have on the armor of God. Therefore, it is so important that we put on the whole armor of God. Therefore, so important that we put on the whole armor of God. Why do we need to put the whole armor of God? Man, we have an enemy an enemy that's invisible. You can't see him. The world can't see him. He's got folks tricked. He's got people fooled. But listen, we're the church. We have spiritual discernment. We're able to see the invisible. God's able to show us things that this invisible enemy is doing that other people can't see. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but we're fighting against principalities and powers. We're fighting against a hierarchy. We're fighting against powers. We're fighting against Satan, who has demon spirits under him that are subject to him. We're fighting against an enemy that is well organized, that's been around for a long time. So a lot of times people don't really understand the text. They read this text and it sounds real cute and everything. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and rulers of darkness and spiritual wickedness in high places. They don't understand what in the world are we really dealing with here. We're dealing with a monster. We're dealing with someone that's been around since the beginning of time. We're dealing with an enemy that has made greater men than you and I fall. We're dealing with an enemy that has broken up more families and dynasties than you can ever imagine. That's who we are wrestling against. We're wrestling against the prince and the powers of the air, the one that tricked Adam and took the authority of earth. Oh man, we can't fight this devil with psychology. That's why psychology didn't work when I was on drugs. Because it was a spirit. We can't fight this devil with anger. Because the devil just laughs at you, because when you get angry, that means you're coming on his turn. No matter how mad people get at me, I still get most of this money. I still folks stuff, they mad at me, I'll be like, I'm sorry. That's all I can say. There was nothing they can do. Because what? The enemy that was working inside of me was invisible. We can't fight this enemy with nothing else other than the weapons that God gives us. Can't fight it with good intentions. While really just trying to help him, you just don't understand. He needs help. Oh yeah, he needs help. But you can't help. Well, I know you heard that a lot. Got a boyfriend who's still and everything. Ain't worked in 3 years over. He just needs some help, and I'm there for him. But listen, you can't help him with no good intentions. The devil will run all over you with no good intentions. Because this enemy that we're fighting is an invisible enemy. He's treacherous. He's vicious. He doesn't have mercy. When you're down, he's just going to step on you and kick you and then laugh in your face. While you sit there and whimper and cry. Listen, the devil's laughing at you. Our whole society is filled with young men that are walking around being beat down by the devil. Young women walking around being beat down by the devil, going home being abused, going home being misused, talked about, talked down, called them out of their name, and they just, would you please just stop? Yeah, I love you so much. Listen, the devil don't care about all that. He don't care about your wife. He don't care how many times you get in and out of jail. He'll make you go in and out of jail 10 more times. He's never going to give up. He's relentless. Oh, that's what we do. This is the real deal, baby. God chose us because he recognized that the only people that can stand against this enemy is the church. He knew that, listen, this devil, he's mean. And it's funny how the Bible puts it in Revelation. He said the devil has been kicked out of heaven, he's fallen down to earth, and he's very angry, he's fierce. He will take it out. Ever since my man was taking it out on folks, that's how my brother was. He said, man, I just disappeared. You ain't taking it out on me. They'd be kicking stuff and breaking stuff. They'll break your stuff up. They'll break your own stuff up. Why are you breaking my stuff? We're taking it out on other folks. That's how the devil is. He's so angry. He's mad because he doesn't have an opportunity to go to heaven. He got kicked out because he thought for sure he could overthrow God, and he was greatly mistaken. Him and all his 1/3 of his angels got booted out, and he's come down to earth, and he's angry, and he's mad, and he's taking out on everybody that he can. Y'all see it. You'll see it in your relatives all the time. Drinking themselves to death. Wish they could stop drinking. Smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. Oh, I'm going to quit one day. No, you ain't. Die of cancer. Why do I say it like that? Because I must understand that this devil, he's for real.
Amen. Yes.
And that God has really done something with the church. He has really empowered us. And then when God says, listen, when he gave us this text, he didn't stop right there at that verse in verse 12, but he transitioned into verse 11. He says, wherefore? Because we have a devil that's fierce.
Yes.
Wherefore? Because we have a demon that's organized. Wherefore? Because